Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash, and I want to say Shalom to Agnakwat out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. And this one's kind of a multiple topics. All right, I got two different things here, both from Reddit. First off, we're probably going to be dealing with this guy here. I guess this guy's name is Nikita Kasap. It's this guy CCG Bryson that's talking about him. We'll get into that, and then of course we have a little bit of something over here, and this is we'll see what that's about. Okay, that's a little T-gender madness. All right, so two different things that we're gonna touch on today, Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So right off the bat, let's go ahead and start reading this and looking into it. This is from Reddit / Black People Twitter, okay, which in case you're not familiar with, it's a subreddit where popular tweets or X's, whatever they're calling them now, they're tweets, are posted by, popular black people, all right, are basically just reposted, okay? They might be funny, they might be political, so on and so forth, all right? It's pretty interesting to check them out from time to time. This is just coming from the popular page, all right? You just go there, you just go to popular, and they'll just show you all the things that are currently popular, okay? You can just scroll down and see all the things that are popular throughout the day. Stuff with Biden, all these different things, 4chan being hacked, funny things, serious things, all these different things, right? So, let's go back. It says, so again, the title of the post by the person that posted it, which is Big Clit Phobia, right? Fucking Reddit with their names, said, but when we do it. And CCG Bryson, the guy that originally posted it, said, this guy has over not this guy, but this has over 600,000 views, and I haven't seen the usuals bring up this guy or his race. Interesting. And I'll try to see if I can go and prove something for an example, all right, for lack of a better word. But it's from AF Post. It says, Wisconsin 17-year-old Nikita Kasap murdered his parents to fund a plot to kill President Trump and spark a revolution to, quote-unquote, save the white race. Okay, so you can go there, and you can go and look it up, and see. You can go to AF Post, save white race, and see if it pops up. I'm going to go to X. We're going to just go to X. Alright. Let's see here. And go, what was it? AF Post. So it should be in here somewhere. I'll have to scroll a little. What is this? It's somewhere in here. I don't know exactly when it was posted. Well, when was this posted? This was posted 5 hours ago. So that's about 2 days ago. So the 13th. Should be in here somewhere. I'd like to find the original post. This is the 13th. There it is. Bam. All right. Call you. How about Shemiao Shai? We found it. So let's go and click on it. Actually, is that another one about him right below? Yep. So, but we'll continue on with this. So what are we saying here? Is he far left or far right? Smells like a psyop. He targeted Trump because he's a person of color. He thinks would start a race war. What are you talking about? These Trumpies are really fucking dumb, man. Think about how, to quote George Carlin, think about how dumb the average person is and realize half of them are dumber than that. This isn't a white nationalist. This is the product of an unironically satanic Discord grooming cult that has produced numerous mass shooters. Authorities also uncovered material on the teen's phone related to the Order of the Nine Angels, which is a network of individuals holding new Nazi racially motivated extremist views. So again, that would be essentially a white nationalist. All right, if you look up what a white nationalist is, all right, white nationalists seek to ensure the survival of the white race and the cultures of historically white nations. They hold that white people should maintain their majority in mainly white countries, maintain their dominance of its political and economic life, and that their culture should be foremost. And going back, white supremacy, and that's, if they're a new Nazi racially motivated extremist group, then that would make them white nationalists. Fucking retards, man. These people are dumb. I'm sick of... God, I'm really sick of dealing in these places. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, he comes back soon, because I can't deal with these fucking retards no more, man. I really can't deal with these idiots no more. They're always saying some dumb shit. Why is he wearing a duvet? I'm gonna guess that it's a false flag. This stinks. False flag, false flag, false flag, false flag, false flag. When it's a Democrat that does it, it's not a false flag. When it's a Republican, it's a false flag, right? That's just how it goes with these people, man. And I'm neither for or there. I'll call out both sides. The Republicans are a bunch of inbred neo-Nazi fucks, all right? Sister fucking trailer living motherfuckers that don't even know what a tariff is, okay? Didn't even know what a tariff is. Here it is, you're voting for this guy. You don't know what a tariff is. You don't know that tariffs affect the country that the tariffs are being, put out from, not the other countries. They're not affecting the other countries. They're not paying the tariffs. You're paying the tariffs. You didn't know that, though, because you're dumb. And then these Democrats, they're too busy fucking chopping off their wieners, right? And men becoming women and women becoming men. So y'all are two sides of stupid, man. Two sides of the same retarded ass coin. And you're over here arguing and fighting. Really, you're the same fucking people at the end of the day. You're both Edomites. You're both retards, okay? And these Republicans have no accountability, okay? There could be a guy that says, I'll live and die MAGA, and he has videos from 20 years ago. No, not 20 years ago, but he has videos from, how many years ago was it now with his first run? Well, Trump's first run, right? He said, I love Trump. I love Trump. And then you go out and do something like this, and you say, no, it was a false flag. Oh, yeah, and they just set it up for years, and it wasn't it wasn't him or anything, right? Now, false flag events can happen, but you throw that term around too loosely. Anytime it has something to do with a Republican or someone that has anything to do about racially motivated hatred, now all of a sudden it's a false flag event. Oh, it's a psyop. No, it isn't. You can't just pick and choose what the psyops are. That's not how it works, man. There has been psyops. There's been plenty of them, all right? This doesn't stink as one, all right? This just stinks of a... Look at him, man. You can tell he's that type of kid, acne all over the face, eyes all fucking blown out. You can tell he's definitely on some type of, antidepressant, right? A loon, right? Nuts. Psycho. So, but where are all the comments? If we go and let's go see... Let's go and find some news with some black people in it. Let's see. News. Let's see. Let's see. Go see a couple. Let's see. All right. So here we go. We have a black guy that robbed a T-Mobile. So ready for the comments? Such a violent culture. Let's see. This is new, so that's all we got from that one. Such a first one, taking a whim, and there's already one. Such a violent culture. All right, what else? Right here. Never happened. He will walk free. This is Memphis, and he is a usual suspect. Usual suspect. All right. Let's go and find another one. Description of the cars, but not the punks. Useless cops and news channel. You get 2 guesses. Pick one. Spade or taco. There you go. Black or Mexican. There you go. What else do we have? Let's see. Why no suspect description? Who thinks that that's very important? Okay. Let's see. Any BLM in the bank, then do not withdraw cash. Better be safe than sorry. What else? No suspect description again. Usual suspects. There we go. See, and I just grabbed these 2 randomly. Okay? I just grabbed those 2 randomly and they're saying that. So it goes back to shows you that nothing about this guy's race. Nothing about him. Well, guess what? Usual suspect. Usual fucking gorilla motherfucker. Alright, with acne all over his face. Ain't getting no pussy ass having motherfuckers. Going around toting guns. There, you want to do that, E? We'll do it too. Alright? Can't even grow no fucking facial hair. Zits all over his face. Probably live in his mom's basement. Alright? Mom probably gives him everything. Okay? Probably stupid and dumb. Hillbilly. Inbred. Alright? Probably comes from an inbred family of cousin fuckers. Alright? Or sister fuckers. Alright? And here it is, usual suspect for the fucking going on a mass shooting, all right, or killing their parents, usual suspect. Every time it's a mass shooting, usual fucking suspect. Usual fucking suspect. It's always these fucking crack-a-lackin' ass honkies, man. It's always them. There you go. See, we can do it too. We can do it too, right? And this is just the type of person that you are anyway. Because, and we know who you devils are, all right? We can go and get a scripture here. Let's go and get, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm drawing a blank. This is Exodus. That's not, no. This is Amos 1 and 11. We're actually going to go up from... Now 11's fine. All right. This is Amos 1 and 11. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever." So going back to who is Esau's brother? All right, Jacob, us. All right, us. All right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And I don't really give a shit if you don't believe it or not. None of us do. Here, there's a news flash for you. I don't believe it. Cool. We don't care that you don't believe it. All right. Next. Anyway, Esau. All right. His blessing was of the sword. We can go and show you that. This is Genesis 27 and 40, and it's the blessing right here. In 38, and you're going to go and say, the whole Genesis 27, you're going to say, Esau got his blessing stolen from him. Well, no, we've proved that time and time again, okay? The first thing that you got to realize and understand is that Esau sold his birthright, okay, to Jacob. Now, biblically, the birthright entitled you to everything as firstborn, okay? He sold it because he didn't give a shit about it. He was profane, okay? Matter of fact, you can go and get that. It'll get it anyway. Right? So right here, Hebrews 12 and 16, "Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright." Now, this is, you got to understand that was a very terrible, terrible wickedness towards the Lord when he did that. Okay? But everything happens for a reason. You got to realize the Lord is omnipotent. He controls everything. Okay? And the Lord had that happen because he knew how Esau was. He knew he was profane. That birthright never really rightfully belonged to him. Okay? Because there was going to be a time and place where it would come along, where Esau would come in hungry, and he would sell that birthright to Jacob. All right? And the Lord had that all orchestrated out. It's like a script. Certain things have to happen. All right? So things happen in a natural order. And part of that was that this birthright was never for Esau. Okay? It was meant for Jacob. Okay? And you can prove that. We can prove that. We can prove that in Genesis 25 and 23. Now, this is when the Lord was speaking to Rebekah. It said, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. So that shows you that there's 2 different people, 2 distinct people, 2 nations. Okay, 2 nations. They're not the same. 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. The elder shall serve the younger. So the older one shall serve the younger. Now, this is, mind you, this is before Rebekah even had the child. So this is a prophecy. The Lord already had it laid out how this was going to happen. Okay? The older was going to serve the younger. Now, how is that the case? All right, the older being firstborn should be entitled to all, shouldn't they? Well, yes, but the Lord knew it was going to happen because the Lord made it happen, right? So, right here, and you can tell who the older is, and the elder shall serve the younger. Well, going down here, it says, let's go to verse 25. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. He came out first, which means he's the older. And after that, his brother came out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them, Slakia. So that shows you that Esau is the older brother, Jacob is the younger brother, and that Esau is going to serve the youngest. Why would that happen if Esau was to get the birthright? Because the Lord knew that he wasn't going to get the birthright. He knew that he was profane. He knew he was vile, and he knew he was going to sell his birthright to Jacob. He knew that Jacob was the rightful heir. Okay, he was the rightful, the person to have that. Okay, of that birthright, the rightful possessor, proprietor. All right, that's the word I'm looking for, of that birthright. Not Esau. Okay, and mind you, out of all the people, showing you how the Lord feels about Esau and how he feels about Jacob. Romans 9:13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Okay, he was vile. Okay, and mind you, this is the only people that are going to get no mercy from the Lord. Okay, at all. They're evil. They're evil. They're evil incarnate, man. That's it. They're evil personified, man. That's who they are. They're just pure evil. Okay, they do things that are evil. That's why they go and do things like this. It's mostly them, usual suspect. When they're going on the mass shootings, it's them. The people that are killing their parents, it's them. The people that are chopping babies up, it's them. The people that are having sex with dogs, it's them. The people that are having sex with babies, it's them. The people that are eating people, it's them. All right? It's them. The people that are enslaving people the most, it's them. All right? Usual suspects, it's them. It's them, and it's always them. Okay? Because they're evil. All right? They're wicked. They're profane. Going back to, where were we? I closed out of it. But let me finish up with Genesis 27:38. It says, and Esau said unto his father, going back into showing, because, before that, you were going to say, well, Jacob stole the blessing. Well, now we explain that. So Genesis 27:38, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Again, showing you who this people are. They're always crying, man. Always crying. Out on the schoolyard, who did you see crying the most? The white kids, all right? The so-called white kids, all right? Edomites. Not everybody that is white is an Edomite. I myself look like to be a so-called white person, but a good chunk of them are. Okay, remember, this isn't necessarily just it's not a race thing, it's a lineage thing. Well, Slakia, it's not a skin color thing. Race is it is technically a race thing because it goes back through your father line, which would be race or heritage or ethnicity, bloodline, right? Seed line, pedigree, multiple different words for the same thing. It's not a skin color thing, it's a lineage thing, a house, all right? A bloodline thing, okay? But a lot of the people that look so-called white are Edomites. A lot of the people that look like so-called black people are Judites. A lot of the people that look like so-called black people over there in the islands are so-called Benjamites, all right? And so on and so forth, all right? And the people over there that you see in Haiti that look that type of way, look a little bit different. They are usually those so-called Haitians, they are usually Levites, all right? Continuing on, and the people that look like Mexicans are usually so-called, the people that look like so-called Mexicans are usually, biblically, what they're called Issacharites, okay? So on and so forth. There can be some mixing. You might have a so-called black guy that actually goes back to Gad or Issachar, right? You never know. So, but yeah, it's not necessarily about color, but a lot of these white people that you see, all right, these white-looking people are Edomites, all right? A lot of them are. Okay, it's definitely not the usual. It's not the usual that Israel's looking like, leprous. Okay, and they usually are melanated. So most of these white-looking people are Edomites, but it's not definitive. All right, it's not 100% definitive. So continuing on, Genesis 27 and 38, 39, Salakia. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. So it's going to be, these rich, fertile places. And 40, it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live. The modern day sword is the gun, okay? And shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, and they had that dominion, all right, after a while, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Because there was a period of 1,000 years where we were ruling, during the Dark Ages. And there was a reason why they call it the Dark Ages. It wasn't just because of the terrible things that were happening. No, it was the Dark Ages. It was dark for them. It was terrible for them. And there's actually, if you go and look at, because originally before, the big diaspora and all this, we were in different areas. All right. Well, we weren't in different areas, but we had we were aware of who we were, and we were aware of our sigils and stuff like that. And during the diaspora, all right, when we got scattered abroad, all right, we were among certain places. And if you look in places like England, all right, and you look at English crests, okay, you start seeing things. There's one, like, right, you start seeing things that look if you look at the ones from tribes, okay, you start looking at them, okay, you start recognizing and realizing, oh, whoa, why are these here? Why are these here? Now, you'll have the Edomites that'll say, well, that's because those people, the English people, the white Europeans, all right, are actually the Israelites. That's wrong, okay? That is wrong. You got to realize the things, realize the people like Moors, all right, the Moors, all right, who go back to the Hebrews, all right, the Moorish people. And these crests all came, England never had crests like that before, all right? And of course, he who controls the present controls the past. So of course they can, write all these things away and say different things. But no, the fact of the matter is that when you see these different animal sigils and stuff like that, and you see, right, all these different things, okay, with lions and the what animal is that? I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, when you see these different, the lions and all these different things, and the ass, all right, and all these different symbols, and you're starting to see them in England. Well, where do you think those came from? Those all started during, during the diaspora, all right, when we were scattered abroad and we were using those things, and also in the rulership, when we were in rulership, all right, for a time being, all right. So going back, and of course, if you don't believe it, you don't believe it. You're not required to believe it, all right. Those who will believe it will believe it. Those who won't. All right. There's no way we can force you. Bear with me. There's no way we can force you into believing it, and even if we could, we wouldn't, all right, because it requires the Holy Spirit. If you don't believe it, you don't get it, hey, that's fine. So, continuing on, where were we? Amos 1:11, Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So, a couple things here, all right, first of all, dealing with how they never changed, all right, that same spirit. So Rebecca actually told Jacob, okay, you're roughly paraphrasing, your brother's very mad and he seeks to kill you, all right, go ahead and leave, all right, and come back when his wrath has died down. Well, the thing is that Esau's wrath never died down, all right, he kept his wrath forever. It never died down. He was mad forever. And just that same, I will kill the days of mourning for my father at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. Okay, that he kept that spirit forever, and that's why you see Esau killing so-called, black and brown everywhere they go. All right, these so-called white people killing black and brown everywhere they go, because they kept that wrath forever. They just want to, they never got over it. Okay, they held that grudge, all right, forever, and you're really not supposed to hold a grudge like that, but they did. Okay. And you're gonna say, well, if we're not supposed to hold a grudge, Well, why are you holding one towards Esau? Well, that's a little bit of a different story. Well, it's because you never changed. Okay? And it's not necessarily, I mean, in a way it is a grudge, but it's not necessarily a grudge. It's just showing you that you're an evil people, and there's no way you can change that. And we're wary, all right, because you're an evil people, and we know what you do. Okay? The Tuskegee experiments, all these different Jim Crow things, all right, the postcards of slavery and the lynchings, all right, the little funny little things you made with the feeding the babies to alligators, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, you never changed, all right, and you're still the same people. You can tell by going to YouTube and seeing all these, take your pick, spade or taco, right? Well, if you see someone fucking a dog, take your pick. Oh, there is no pick. It's just an Edomite. It's always just an Edomite, all right? I guarantee you, all right? Person caught, if I looked up person caught having sex with dog, it would be a white person. I guarantee it. I'm not going to look it up because I don't want that shit in my search history, but I'd be willing to bet money on it, right? So, going on to, right here, his anger to tear perpetually and he kept his wrath forever. There's another scripture, right here, Ezekiel 35:5. Right here, Ezekiel 35:5, and this is the one that we'll actually be using to get. It's the same word. You're gonna see perpetually. All right, you're gonna see perpetual. All right. So Ezekiel 35:5 says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end." Mind you, we have to go, we have to go up to verse 1. Ezekiel 35 and verse 1. Bear with me. Gotta take this hoodie off. It's getting awfully hot in here. Bear with me. Drink water while I'm at it. Got to get from 1, right, to show you who we're dealing with here. Because, of course, it's the Edomites, once again. So Ezekiel 35:1 says, "Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it." Slakia, who is Mount Seir? Where was it? Mount Seir is a mountainous region in biblical literature, specifically referring to the Edomite territory located southeast of the land of Canaan. There you go, Edom. Okay, and you want to know who these people are, you can go and look up how their buildings are made, all right? And there's actually, can we get the front? All right, and then you look at they were called Greek, then Roman, all right? That's why they have that Greco-Roman, they call it Greco-Roman period, right? And then, so let's get that, and then let's get Roman architecture. Let's look up. Who could this people possibly be? Who could this people... you kind of gave it away how your architecture followed you around through the ages. Mount Seir with the Edomites, the Greek, the Roman, the so-called white people of the day. Huh. Interesting. And I think they call it, it's something classical, not neoclassical. Is it neoclassical architecture. All right. And that's Esau's biggest, thing. All right. They love neoclassical architecture. Okay. Is neoclassical architecture really new? No, because it's the same thing in Greek. It's the same thing in Rome. And it's the same thing that they were using in Mount Seir, because they're the same people. Right. And that's, you can try to hide it all you want and say, we're not the people. Well, guess what? Your architecture followed you around. So you really fucked up with that one. You should have switched it up, really. You really should have switched it up, okay? So Ezekiel 35:2, "Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred." and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and in the time that their iniquity had an end. I love this verse right here. Ezekiel 35:6, therefore as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Saith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So you didn't hate blood, you love spilling it? Well, guess what? Because you love spilling it so much, your blood's gonna spill. So this perpetual hatred. Well, they've changed, we've changed. I know we did some terrible things, but we've changed. Shut up. I know you're calling us coons and jigaboos in the back, all right? And beaners and spicks and calling us all these different names. I know you're calling us these names in the back. I know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. We're not stupid unlike you. Perpetual, all right? Perpetual means something that continues without end or interruption or that lasts forever. All right, you can go in definition just to prove it. It says perpetual, never ending or changing, everlasting, never ending, eternal, permanent, unending, endless, without end, lasting, long lasting, constant, abiding, enduring, perennial, timeless, ageless, deathless, undying, immortal, unfailing, unchanging, never ending, changeless, unvarying. Okay, they stayed the same. They stayed the same and they never changed. Right? They stayed the same and they never changed. They loved killing. They still love killing. Usual fucking suspects. All right. Let's read some comments and then we're going to move on to the next topic. What are we at right here? We've been going for 31 minutes. It says, kill your parents to save the white race. Interesting. Did it work? This person said, could have started by trying to wash his face. There we go. It says, pillowcase hasn't been washed in years, I'm sure. So there you go. What else? It says, he was later promoted to Secretary of State. All right. So many of them are willing to jumpstart the race war as we keep trying to mind our own business. Because there will be a race war and they want to start it, right? The race war is going to start any day now, idiots over 100 years ago. Well, guess what? No, it is going to start. And you stupid-ass, silly-ass Negroes are going to be fucking assed out, man. Oh, what happened? Well, we tried to warn you, man. We tried to warn you. We tried to warn all of our people. All so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American. We tried to warn our people. Y'all didn't want to listen, man. Y'all didn't want to listen. Y'all were too busy calling us a cult. Y'all were I ain't with the Hebrew Israelites. Y'all were too busy. Too busy complaining, too busy smoking weed, too busy throwing your ass back in the club. And now there is a race war, and now your best friend Betty's whacking your head in. You're my friend. No, never was. All right? Let's see. Looks like Joffrey. He do a little bit. He do look a little bit like Joffrey from Game of Thrones. What else do we have? What else we got? How come he looked like the preacher kid from the Children of Corn? A little bit. A little bit. So, what else do we have? This is the same as I want to save the trees, but I'm going to cut down these two first. Yeah, see, Edomites don't make sense. Alright. So, there you go. About as dumb as they get. A self-proclaimed white supremacist that wanted to assassinate Trump. You'd think he'd agree with Trump's ideologies and beliefs, but nah. So he thought that killing Trump was a necessary sacrifice for the greater good, thinking that it would make the whites riot. Probably also what the other Trump assassin was trying to do last year. These white supremacists are crazy. And they're actually up to something, because I thought just the other day, I said, you know what? I'm surprised that no one has tried to do something like that. All right. And I thought, you know, if someone did something like that, it would probably drive these fucking maggots insane. They probably would go to door, kicking and killing down anything that's brown. All right. So that's these devils for him. All right. Now we got one more. Do I want to do it? 34 minutes. I don't want to save this. It's already going a little long. Not long, but let's see. I'll just save this one. You know what? I'll save this one. I think we, you know, one topic for a time will do, because I can make a lesson on this tomorrow and just deal with that in itself. Because I didn't even know that. I thought the whole lesson itself was going to be about 40 minutes, and let alone we already spend almost 40 minutes just on that one topic. So yeah, let me go and go back. Open that back up. We'll close these out because we pretty much got it. All right. So, let's see if I want any closing scriptures that come to mind. You know, let me find one. I gotta find one to close out with. What do we want to get? So let's get let's open up the Bible here and let's get where do I want to get? Man, there's so many good ones. You know what? Let's get Numbers 35 and 33. Just to drive the nail deeper on these Edomites, man. And then we'll close out. This is Numbers 35 and 33. It says, "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." And who has shed the most rampant amount of blood in this land of all people, all right, especially, most primarily, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, is Esau Edom. So guess whose blood's going to be shed in the end days? And it's not going to be by us. It's going to be by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and he's coming back soon. So, hey, man, you devils, woo! I'd be shaking in my boots if I were you. Call all Yahweh Shem Yahushai that I'm not, all right? Thank the Lord that I'm not, all right? And that you're not, and that we're not, all right? And we're Israelites, and not filthy, dirty, stinking, acne-ridden little Edomites. That's the lesson, all right? Not sure what I'm going to call it, but we'll figure out something in post, Lord willing. So, again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Till next one, Lord willing. Shalom.